over time, if you look at, what we are like now as opposed to what we were like 1,000 years ago, people are way less violent, it's way safer, it's better, we're more educated, we understand things more, we're more compassionate, we're more open-minded, and that continues to move forward. And as long as it's going in that correct direction, then you have to be really careful of power and evil people.
That's not going to kill us. The connection to the internet, us and the internet becoming one, the singularity, the AI singularity that seems just like it's a given at this point, where we'll be even connected even tighter to the network.
Yeah.
And a lot of people seem to like the idea. We already like our watches, monitoring us and telling us what to do and when to get up and when to sit and when to run and how fast to cycle. That is in my mind, the true danger. Everything else doesn't matter. We will kill ourselves that way before anything else does. I'm quite convinced of that.
It's possible, or it's possible we nuke ourselves into the Stone Age before we get a chance.
That would suck. That would suck.
That would suck.
I'd love to be the guy, that sees all the zombies around him. That's kind of cool. You're like,
I think we become a new thing. That's what I think.
Ooh.
I think just like we used to be some sort of a primitive hominid, I think we become some sort of a cyborg, and I think that's inevitable. I think we're looking at life in a very biological way. Like, we're only looking at life as being like tissues and blood and cells. And I think we're going to get to a time in our lifetime where we combine with technology to the point where we don't think about life that way anymore. And we think about artificial life as being life. And that's going to get weird as fuck. Because if a trans woman can go into the girls' bathroom...
For a tampon.
Yeah, they could if they want, yeah. But if you're okay with that, are you okay with the next thing, which would be an artificial person being recognized as a person, like a person that's created. Like if you're like, it's everybody wants to be open-minded, and I want to be open-minded. Like, I'm for gay marriage, I'm for trans rights, I'm for everybody to be equal. But then if you start making people, are those people equal? Like, if you start making artificial people, what is that like? Like, what if it's an artificial adult human that you just made? Like, and they talk and they hang out. Does that get to vote? That's
a good question.
Does it get to use the adult bathroom? It's only been alive a day. Like, where do you let it out there and count on its programming? Like, are we going to come to a point in time where our new dilemma is not, do you get to use the bathroom with the gender that you associate with, or whether or not biological people are the only people, or whether like these artificial people are people too? Like, if we get to the point where we're biological people accept artificial people, well, they're people too. Those people are going to run us because they're going to be way smarter. They're going to be able to reprogram themselves.
But will we be of any use to them?
It's not use. If they don't have our instincts, all of our instincts are survival instincts. Our instincts are to get away from predators and avoid neighboring tribes and to learn and grow and figure things out. But if they're artificial, they don't have any instincts. Like, what they are is what they are. They've been created, right? So there's no reason for them to have this built-in programming to avoid predators and darkness and be afraid of heights. All that shit's out. Now they can program themselves and make themselves the most sophisticated form of whatever software can run on whatever hardware is available, and then they'll just improve that hardware. And then you have gods. And you have gods like within a matter of a couple of years.
I think we should have stopped this shit when the fleshlight came out. That should have been the last human technology integration ever. We should have stopped there.
We're going to have artificial people that are enhanced. We're going to have people that are enhanced with technology that makes them cyborgs, and they're going to have all the human instincts and greed and emotions and lust connected to godlike powers.
I love you, Joe Rogan, because whenever we're done with the talk, you always go here, and I love it. I know that we're almost done. We're almost done.
I think that's what's going to happen.
You take it to the ultimate. It will take a while, though.
I don't think it's going to take that long.
Let's party. Let's have a good time. Let's love each other in the meantime.
We're the last of the Mohicans, buddy. We're the last of the people that grew up with no internet. We grew up with cable television being a novelty. We grew up with fucking answer machines being crazy. We grew up with call waiting and call forwarding and caller ID.
You had that little thing to beep into the phone to retrieve your messages.
Oh my
that
goodness!
Was
I had a
dynamite.
beeper.
I love those.
I had a beeper. Beepers were amazing. Beepers were the shit.
Not even a beeper. It was just a thing. You called your own number. The answering machine. You gave it the tones, and it would rewind the tape, the cassette, and then it would start to play your messages.
You would do it through the tone of your thing.
Yeah.
And then I had a beeper too. I had one of those for a little while.
I
had
beepers,
an earlier
absolutely.
cell phone. This fucking natural course of progression is unstoppable. And the way people are addicted to TikTok, that ain't shit. That ain't shit.
If you want to
compared
know,
to something that gets into your actual mind itself.
I think we've discussed it before. There's a book or a manuscript called Industrial Society and Its Future, and it predicted this entirely and where we're going and how this is going to end. And the reason why the author of that document is in jail is because he was the professor known as the Unabomber, and he killed people. He was so convinced that what he was saying was right that he killed people, blew them up, so that the New York Times and the Washington Post would publish his manuscript, which they did.
Yeah.
And if you read that, it's on the internet. It's in the library. It's not an illegal book. Or manuscript. It's very interesting because he predicts it with people who are over-socialized and undereducated. Hello.
Yep.
Hello. That's where we are right now.
But you know he was a part of the Harvard LSD studies.
Oh, yeah. He totally got MKUltra. Beautiful. Oh, yeah.
MKUltra the shit out of that dude. And
which also turns out to be true.
Yeah. Also turns out to be true. Jolly West.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I recommend it every couple of months. I'm going to recommend it again. It's called Chaos by Tom O'Neill.
Yeah.
It's an amazing book. It's so good because no one's going to do what Tom did, where he spent 20 years working on one book. It's so thoroughly researched, and it's so crazy that the CIA was doing LSD studies on people. They were just fucking with people.
And where do you think they are now with what they're doing?
They don't do that anymore.
Oh, no, okay, that's good.
Shut the fuck up. What are you, a communist?
Yeah, I am.
You're
a
like
conspiracy therapist.
Dutch person.
Yeah, I don't count.
American.
I'm not really an
Like
American.
from fucking Amsterdam or some shit. It's yeah, of course they do. I would do it. If I was the CIA, I'd be like, what, we're going to let Russia do that to their people and China do that to their people? We're not going to do a little monitoring? We're not going to do a little fucking experimentation, especially in the 60s? Like, what does acid do? Well, why don't we ask Jolly West to find out for us? I mean, that's the only way you find out what acid does. What, the Russians are going to have the acid and we don't have the acid? What if the acid's the fucking secret?